Welcome back to Brothas On Football, the only podcast where we discuss professional football from a black man's point of view. I'm David Haley, I'm your host, and I've got three gentlemen with me today. I've got Mr. Know-It-All, Reggie Watkins.
Yeah, in the building.
I've got the resident supervillain, Jay Washington.
That would be me, and that name is trademark.
And the Redskins heartbeat, Tico Well.
What up, what up, what up?
We need to reevaluate the Redskins heartbeat. Like,
Hey, leave my Redskins alone. Leave my Redskins alone.
Can you be like the Redskins defibrillator?
Yeah, I'm
So
living in the
check-
past. Living in the past,
Listen,
baby.
that coach is not going to last a year, I'm telling you right now.
Somebody called him a dead man walking.
A dead man walking. Okay, so we've been through the offensive line, the defensive line. Today we're going to talk about our favorite wide receivers in the league, 2019-2020 season. All right, and we're also going to get a student of the game part of the podcast. Tico's going to take us through that. But I'm going to start today with Reggie, Mr. Know-It-All, your favorite wide receiver in the league right now.
My favorite wide receiver. See, we always have to make sure that we distinguish what we're talking about.
Very good.
Okay,
We'll do both.
We're
do both.
doing favorite
And
wide
then
receiver.
Your favorite, and then the best.
Okay, my favorite wide receiver in the NFL is Odell Beckham. The boy is talented.
I'm
though.
writing this
He is
down.
talented.
Oh, he's bad.
He's fast. His hands. I mean, every now and then you get these generational type players. He is one of those dudes. And for him to be such a late draft pick, too, out of LSU, and to turn into what he's turned into while playing with the terrible Eli Manning for most of his career.
Leave Eli alone.
I will not leave Eli
You
alone.
petty.
He's so petty, man. He's won 2 championships.
I don't care about 2 championships. What you done for me lately?
Oh, my.
Oh, you
That's
sound
what I
like
wanna
Janet.
know.
You sound like
Hey.
Janet.
So what I'm saying is Odell is my man, number one. Okay, that's my favorite receiver. Are we going more than one or just
Just
going
one,
favorite?
just one. And then the best wide receiver in the league.
Odell is my favorite wide receiver in the league.
Because you're kind of like
The
Odell.
Best. I got some moves. I can dance a little bit. All right.
I thought next-
but I
next
tell you,
episode.
I can dance a little bit, but I ain't got to be the best dancer. All I got to do is keep her on the floor.
Wow.
That's all I'm trying to do is keep her on the floor.
What is this, Brothers on Dancing with the Stars?
All right, moving on.
Okay,
So who's the best?
The best receiver is Julio Jones. Julio
And
Jones
why?
does everything that you need from a wide receiver. Julio Jones will catch the ball, 50-50 balls. He's going up. He's going to out-jump. He's going to box you out. He's a red zone target, and he will block, which is what most receivers don't want to do. Julio Jones will get out there and block for you. He's involved in the run game. He's involved in the pass game to the highest level, and he ain't no diva about it either. So if he ain't getting the ball, you ain't going to hear about him not getting the ball because he's had the last 2 years where he ain't had no touchdowns. But you heard anything from Julio? He just shows up, balls out, and does what he has to do. I love that.
Jay, who's your favorite wide receiver in the NFL 2019-2020 season? Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say this is the resident supervillain, Mr. Jay Washington, and I am saying that my favorite receiver has already been listed by Mr. Know-It-All. It is Julio Jones.
There we go.
It is Julio Jones. This man is consistently productive. Do you know how cold you got to be as a receiver when no matter what play it is, your defense is always throwing 2 men on him?
Yeah.
Because they are that scared of him.
Of course.
And then you got a quarterback so confident in Matty Ice, who is still going to throw it to you.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because you know you're going to receive it. And even if you don't, you got the opposite side with Muhammad Sanu, like we said, turf toe dude. But whatever.
Oh, wow.
But nonetheless, you will get Julio Jones. He's going to make plays. And again, I will echo what Reggie just said. He is not a diva about it. He knows the game. Yep. He could be, Julio Jones, out of all people, could be a diva in this league.
Hey, let me make something clear. I don't mind the divas, okay? Be a diva if you want to be.
But you better back it up.
Just back it up.
You better back it up.
And
Back it up.
the best wide receiver in the league is?
Best wide receiver in the league. Well, this was going to be a hard one for me to say because I wanted to say Julio as well as that.
Sure.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh, we gonna see. We're gonna see.
And you do receive a consolation prize.
You talking Mr. Heartbeat of the Redskins?
Yes.
Juju out here makes plays. Juju makes plays that you have not seen made. I was gonna go.
We
Odell
also
Beckham.
haven't seen Juju without AB. So
Yeah, we'll see
we're
what
gonna
happens
see.
when
We gotta see.
when he's getting double teamed, when he's getting triple teamed.
Also, but you just did the dude who. So Reggie did the dude who's really got famous off one catch. one arm catch.
Hold up.
No. Odell Beckham Jr., when he did the extended arm catch, that's when everybody talked about him.
Yeah.
You give Odell Beckham some regular passes, he struggles a lot, sir.
Well, yeah.
He struggles
I don't know
a
about
lot.
struggling.
Tico,
He's
who you
still a
got?
Pro Bowler.
Your favorite wide receiver in the
My
league?
favorite wide receiver is Tyreek Hill. I love that speed.
Wow.
I love
Okay,
that
your
speed. Speed kills. I love that. I grew up as a wide receiver / quarterback.
Oh, we're gonna learn
so
about
I have
that later.
a special place in my heart for a wide receiver. So this is a hard one. I say AB is the best.
Okay.
And let's face it, this is a hard question. Once again, whenever you talk about who is the best, there's so many variables, so many circumstances. I don't think there's a clear-cut best wide receiver in the league right now.
Okay, I'm gonna say my number one right now is DeAndre Hopkins. He is my
Love him.
favorite
Love
player
him.
in the
Love
league.
him.
This guy,
Snoop.
man, this guy
Love him.
goes up. And also, this dude got talk about swag. This guy's got style.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you see him. You see
Oh,
him
yeah.
everywhere. And but I don't feel like he's a diva. I feel like he knows his worth. You know what I mean?
No, he's dope. You know, I'm gonna say something about DeAndre Hopkins.
Go.
When they did Hard Knocks, remember a couple years ago,
Right.
the Texans were on Hard Knocks.
Right.
Brian Cushing was still a linebacker for the Texans out of USC.
Right.
Always getting injured, right?
Right. Hit the
This is-
TED thing, right?
Yeah, he was on, the steroids, doing all that stuff. Snoop Hopkins was talking. They had the microphone on him, and they were talking about how come Snoop doesn't go back and return kicks, and how come he doesn't
Right.
do punt returns, and
Right.
why and how come he's not a kick returner.
Right.
And Brian Cushing was like, "Why don't you do that?" And then Snoop said, "Jerry Rice never returned punts, never returned kicks." And
Snap
Brian
back.
Cushing said, "You ain't Jerry Rice. Look at him now, though.
I
Balling now.
I think
Balling now."
I
Can't
think
argue that at all.
This year, you're
Who's
going to
your
see
fave,
this year, the best wide receiver. We're going to see Adams in Green Bay.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, but I just the only problem I have
love
with
him.
Devontae.
I
Love
know.
him. I love him.
And I'm a Bears fan through and
He's
through. I'm just
underrated.
saying he's going to have a
My only
breakout,
issue with that
massive
is
year.
my only issue is that it's seeing what Matt LaFleur does first year head coach at Green Bay, especially Aaron Rodgers having a new head coach for the first time ever in his career.
Yeah.
That's the issue. You know what I'm saying? So can know that offensive scheme he decides to run with him make Rodgers be able to connect with Devontae more. You get what I'm saying?
No,
But
I do.
unless he's an
It don't
idiot,
really
unless he's
matter
an
because
idiot,
he's the best quarterback in the world
Yeah, well,
right
and
now.
listen,
so he's
here
gonna
we go
throw the ball
again.
to
But
him
listen,
whenever you wanna throw the ball to him.
LaFleur is an idiot, they will be hooking up. They have been hooking up. They hooked up a long time ago, and I don't see anything stopping that.
Man,
kind of
I just want to say this for the record real quick, fellas. If somebody is listening to this podcast and just came in and just heard they hooking up and they just hooked up before, they'll be like, what are they talking about?
You talking about football, right?
Football
You
terms.
talking about football, right?
No, I know what you mean, but the
Yeah.
average person who just come in like, let me tell you something.
Now, but if we're gonna
They
go
got a
straight off,
thing
if we're
going
gonna
on.
go straight off numbers, I think Devontae Adams could have amazing numbers with Aaron Rodgers because they're gonna throw the ball because that's what Aaron Rodgers does,
Right.
and Devontae is the lead receiver.
Right.
But as far as just being special, I don't get special from Devontae Adams.
Look, I think to our point earlier, I think Antonio Brown is special.
He's special.
But Antonio Brown to me is the girl at the bar that you meet. You're like, wow, she is amazing. She's cool. She's smart. She's got doing her thing, all that. And then all of a sudden you kind of get her like out to drinks or out to like lunch or something. And then you're like, oh,
What
this
the
person,
hell was I thinking?
Yeah, this person's not ready. This person's not ready. This
Ladies
person
and
is
gentlemen,
not ready.
I know you thought this was just your uncles talking about football, but David really is your uncle talking about football right now.
But let's,
But you know the feel when you're like, oh,
listen.
this could have been great, but you know what? She's still on Snapchat.
But you know what?
You know what?
The
Did you
numbers
just
that in Antonio Brown's defense, he gets the job done. He gets the job done. He may be looked at as, well, is he a little strange? Is he a little nutcase? But wide receivers
gets it
come
done.
like that. They're either really, really shy, like you're saying about Julio.
Yeah.
Julio just seems like a very soft-spoken kind of guy, whereas Odell he has that diva personality, but
yeah.
they all produce in their own different way.
Because the problem is I play receiver too.
Yeah.
And you can affect the game, give me the ball,
Yeah.
but you are reliant on somebody getting you the ball. And if they don't get it to you, you stand out there, you stand about 30 feet away, fuming.
That's why
Yeah.
I
You know
think.
what I'm saying?
Listen, last year I said it the last episode that 4 of the 19 passes that were touchdowns from Derek Carr last year, only 4 of them were over 20 yards. That's it. I mean, it's the same offense. It's the deep ball. Look, they have this left tackle, right? Colton Miller. Trent Brown on the other side. We're talking about offensive line last night. This guy knows. This guy can block out, the sun. This guy's amazing, right? But then can he do it with AB? Because I think AB's going, like you said, I feel like he's going to be, that diva thing's going to pop up.
How quick before he starts complaining every ball isn't thrown into him?
Okay, over under 3 games. Over
I give
under
it
3.
I give it under.
Under 3 games.
Under 3 games before Antonio Brown starts complaining about the number of targets he gets.
Jay says under 3.
Under 3.
Okay. Reggie?
I'll say now. He's probably complaining right now about not getting the ball. He ain't even been in practice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's complaining right now. But it's okay, because get him the ball.
Give him a helmet. Give him a new helmet.
Give him a helmet.
give him the
Tico,
damn
over
ball.
or under 3 games, and he's going to start complaining that he's not getting the ball. Like granted, this guy he's so charismatic. He's the man, but like, what's up? Over or under 3 games?
I root for AB so much. I root for him so much.
But you got to be
So
realistic.
I'm going over.
No.
Over.
Stop rooting for
I'm
him and
going,
be realistic.
I'm going over. I'm going over.
Be realistic. Like, this is Antonio Brown we're
I'm
talking
going
about.
over.
You know
I'm
what?
going
We
over.
talk about divas. Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham Jr.
Right.
You have a list of these divas. Now, OBJ, this is going to be a proving year because now him being on Cleveland and everybody talking about with him and Baker Mayfield, we got to see what these guys are made of now.
You know who's another guy like Julio is Michael Thomas in New Orleans.
In New Orleans.
Yeah, he
That
nice.
guy,
He nice.
man, he goes to work. He goes to work.
Again, but you have a quarterback who can help him go to work in
yeah.
breezes.
Yes.
Y'all going to
Yes.
learn, ladies and gentlemen, on this podcast. I'm going to call Drew Brees breezes.
Wow. Okay. All right.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is Michael Thomas as good as Julio Jones?
No.
Last year said yes.
Yes, he did. Last year said he
no.
was.
Last year said yes.
numbers
If we gonna
say
say
He crushed
numbers,
it last year.
If we gonna say numbers.
Yeah.
But
So-
numbers lie sometimes.
But that's all we really going on. I mean,
We're
we're talking about, you said when we were talking about quarterbacks before, you're talking about Brady is only that way because he got the rings, right? We're looking at him as the GOAT because of the rings. But that's what football is. It's a game of numbers.
Gentlemen, we're going to come back after a break right now. We're going to come back to Brothers on Football, the only podcast where we discuss professional football from a black man's point of view.
Hey there, everyone. Susana Ballesteros. Want to hear this Spanish girl speak her mind? Then check out the Latin Dish podcast exclusively on Digital Podcast Network.
This is the story of a man who had a dream. And one day, that dream turned into...
Yo, what's going on? Dean Edwards got a new show? Yo, what's poppin'? It's your man Dean Edwards. Guess what? You remember me from Saturday Night Live, you remember me from MTV's Guy Code, but now you're gonna remember me from the Dean Edwards Show on the Digital Podcast Network. I don't listen to a lot of things, but I listen to my man Dean Edwards on the Digital Podcast Network. He got his own show.
It's all Dean, it's all love. It's all going down on the Digital Podcast Network. Visit digitalpodcastnetwork.com.
Welcome back to Brothers on Football, the only podcast where we discuss professional football from a black man's point of view. We have come back to our segment, Student of the Game.
Student of the game.
Led every episode by Tico Wells, a.k.a. the Redskins Harpreet. Today we're going to go over wide receiver, the position, what are they responsible for, what do they do, and running back.
What's happening? This is Tico Wells, student of the game. Listen, the wide receiver position. The position we call the pretty boy, the flashy guy, or that team guy who's not a diva. They're either a diva or not diva. I don't know. Let's talk about it. One of the greatest football players of all time, Jerry Rice, was a what?
Wide receiver. Yes,
All
sir.
right, wide receiver. The wide receiver, for all of you out there who are learning the game, is a position where a player, he's usually has some speed. Some of them are short in the 5'9", 5'8" range up to 6'5". Usually has some speed, quickness. They run out and they run what we call patterns.
Right now, there's somebody at home who's 6'6", like, damn.
Yeah, man.
Hopes and dreams, man. Shut down.
Yeah.
Can't get into the NBA now. Can't
Don't say that I can't play receiver no more.
Exactly. This is the average height. These are not your 350-pound linemen or your 250 linebackers. They got 4.4 speed, 4.3 speed, and they run.
Now, what does that mean? 4.3. What does that mean?
They run the 40-yard dash.
The 40-yard
in about
dash.
just a little over 4 seconds.
There we go.
Okay, and they run patterns. Sometimes they go down and out, down and across the middle, down in what we call a post pattern towards the goal post. And the quarterback throws them the ball, they catch the ball. That is what the receivers do. They catch the ball primarily. However, they can do what we call an end around. They can come around behind the quarterback and get the ball in their hand it off. So when you hear receivers, folks, they usually line up on the outside of the offensive line on both sides of the field, left and right. And you have your wide receivers that line up closest to the sidelines. And then you also have slot receivers, which are between the wide receiver and the offensive line or in between the wide receiver and the tight end. And their primary job is to run upfield, to catch passes, also to be a decoy when the ball is going somewhere else, also to block.
Which they hate.
Which they hate.
Oh, my God,
except
they hate.
people like Hines Ward love to
Because he was big
knock
enough
him
to
out.
do it.
Yeah.
and crazy enough too. They're a little bit crazy too because they can get their blocks knocked off going across the middle. They tried to change the rules to protect them. You can't hit them in the head anymore when you're tackling them.
The defenseless receiver rule.
Yes.
It was a big thing they had to implement in the league. For
Yeah,
that.
because you're not looking, and all of a sudden just someone comes and knocks you
Wow.
out.
Not
Yeah.
even just the helmet to helmet, but like the ones that were in the guys is in the air jumping to receive a pass. We've watched so many of them get knocked out the air in slow motion,
And the crazy part is that we loved it.
and we love it.
We want to see it over and over again.
He got jacked
He
up.
got
They got rid of that. They got rid of that.
Remember that? And everyone was like, jacked up.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to running back now.
Let's go to running back.
Running back lines up usually behind the quarterback or to the side, left or right of the quarterback. Their primary responsibility is to take a handoff from the quarterback and run the ball either up the middle behind the offensive line, around the outside, or as we call just off tackle. Now, the running backs also catch passes. They can catch a pass in the backfield, which we call a screen, or they can go downfield and catch a pass. Usually they're not way, way, way downfield. They're, 5, 10, 15-yard passes. That's the position that Ezekiel Elliott plays, who just got his
huge
Got some
contract.
money.
He got the
some
bag.
money.
Did he get the bag?
Can
got
we
a little
just say he
bag.
got the bag? He cashed out.
He got the bag. And the bad thing about running backs, as much as they do for a team, and as vital of a position as they are for a team, the contracts that the union has negotiated
Right.
has been
They're undervalued.
undervalued
Absolutely.
for all they do.
And especially for a short life expectancy in that position.
But
Because,
that's why they're undervalued, though.
yeah, they have a short life expectancy as a running back. You're only
doubt.
expected to be 4 or 5 years at the most
Yep.
viable.
What's that, Jay? What do they call the NFL acronym?
Not for long.
Not for
Oh,
long.
yeah.
Thank you, Reggie.
I was
Yeah,
like, I
not
thought
for
you were
long.
saying something else, and I was like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you caught me off guard. But yeah, they're for 4 to 5 years because they take the abuse. Remember, we all talked about how Adrian Peterson's career would be short just because of the fact he ran with his head down.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody always said that was like, that's going to cut his career short. It's going to cut his career short. And you have some of these receivers who still are like, I got to power through with my head low. And it's like, I get why you do it, but at the same time, your career and life after the league.
And what's so disappointing too is you could have 3,000-yard seasons in a row. You get injured and come back with a 500-600-yard season, and they
you're
look
getting
at
cut.
you like,
Oh, yeah.
you're slipping.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
there's that collective bargaining agreement that's coming up, I think, next year, and so it will change. We'll see all that change now.
But see,
who-
but this
Go ahead.
is why.
Go ahead, Reggie.
This is why, and Tico, I love the point you bring up about the money and all this. But this is why running backs, out of anybody, and anybody on the team, usually, you gotta hold out and get your bread, man.
Gotta hold out and get your
because
bread.
this is what happens to you. They undervalue, especially at the running back position, when they got these guys coming in from college. They already got hundreds of carries
I was gonna
under
say,
their
all
belt.
the tread, all
You know
the
what I'm
tread on the
saying?
tire. Yeah.
Already done it in college. Now
Yep.
they're going to get to the NFL and they come right in getting 300 plus
Well,
carries.
What do you want to do about Melvin Gordon? Reggie, what do you think? Do you think that he's holding out? So they want someone else to give them a 1 and a 5, and then they want to then have them pay him.
But for
pay
those who
Melvin
don't,
Gordon.
and for those listeners who don't know what David means by 1 and a 5,
Oh, I'm
it's a
sorry.
1st round draft pick and a 5th round draft pick.
Sure.
And so that is a lot to give up sometimes for certain players.
And for a guy that they don't want to pay, so make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me. Go ahead, Reggie.
Well, what are you asking me? Are you asking me should they pay him?
Yeah, should they pay
Yes,
him?
they should pay him.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on the cusp of being a Super Bowl contender type team.
Yes.
They're in a good division where they can make some noise happen. They should pay that man. If they don't pay him, they are going to lack talent. And when you lack talent, you don't win in the NFL.
Holla.
And we'll see this year if Pittsburgh made a dramatic mistake by letting Le'Veon Bell go.
What you
and
mean
Oh, they
if?
did.
him.
What you mean
Oh,
if?
they did.
Money.
Tico, what do you mean if?
Oh, for sure.
Everybody knows they did. Everybody knows Pittsburgh was predicated on 2 things. Well, 3 things, I'm sorry. Ben Roethlisberger,
Yep.
Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell.
And two of those
Those are gone.
now gone.
Gone.
No, and nobody's feeling Pittsburgh.
But hold
right
on,
now.
hold on.
Who's
But they
feeling
got
Pittsburgh?
Juju Smith-Schuster.
We love Juju.
No, well, you
We
were
love
just telling us
Juju.
that Juju's the best
They
player.
told
ever.
you they got Juju.
We love Juju.
Smith-Schuster.
I didn't say
We
they
love
were-
Juju, but come on.
Reggie, Tico, David, I never said that they were going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, you just love Juju.
I just love Juju Smith.
Okay, all right.
Okay, we
Tico,
love him too.
What running back, since you explained that position for us, what running back should we be looking out for in the 2019-2020 season?
Well, all eyes will be on Ezekiel Elliott and Le'Veon Bell now that they got their the
money.
bag.
Yeah, they got that money. Jay, what running back we should be looking out for?
It's
this
hard to say one because I have two in particular, and they're tied up for me.
Give us two.
Zeke is one of them, like Tico mentioned. The other one is Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Saquon that rookie came in last season and
Ballin'.
just blew everybody
Ballin'.
away.
Right.
Balling out of control.
Right.
And now you're in your sophomore season. You've got the feel of the NFL up under you now.
Yeah.
You know, so you got that 1 year up under you. So what do you think now what he's going to do again? And Zeke, you just cashed out.
Yeah.
So now you have to show you were worth this money.
You got that right. Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Know-It-All, Reggie Watkins.
I'm
What running
gonna
back
say
should we be looking out for?
I'm gonna say who to look out for.
Yeah.
Because we already know. We know about Saquon.
Right.
We know about Ezekiel. This is a dude that we know about, but now he's on a new team with a quarterback that has opened up the league already with over 5,000 yards passing.
talking about?
I'm talking about LaShawn McCoy with the Kansas City Chiefs. Man.
Come on.
Yo, hold
But
on.
you
Listen
y'all
to
talk
me.
about me with Kamara, but you
Listen
go back
to
and
me.
You
shady
faked
so
us
much.
out.
I'm
You
telling you
faked
who to
us
look out
out
for.
on that. Okay.
Okay, go.
Go ahead.
Shady's
Why?
coming over here. He's still got some tread on the tires, but he don't need to. He ain't gonna need to drive the car that much.
Because they got the other cat.
They they have Damian Williams.
Right.
Also, they got Damian Williams that they have as the starter.
Right.
But they're gonna be it's gonna be a running back by committee with LaShawn coming in as your third
backup.
down back
Yeah.
and giving you, you know what I'm saying, he's gonna spell Damian Williams, or he might even he might become the starter. LaShawn on the Chiefs, man. And don't forget, he's reuniting with who?
with Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
What you
Andy
think-
Reid knows LaShawn. He knows how to use him. It's gonna be
That's
gonna be mayhem.
interesting.
It's
You
gonna be
you
mayhem.
pull out some interesting stops,
Yo,
man.
let me tell you something. Here's the hole with that. He did such a poor job last year in Buffalo.
But
Well,
they didn't
Buffalo
have nothing.
did a
Buffalo
poor
had
job.
nothing.
Buffalo
They
had-
had nothing.
His quarterback
Buffalo
was
was
Josh
struggling.
Allen.
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
Buffalo
they
was
were-
struggling in itself, man.
They
so
lost
we
a
can't
couple
really
of
put
Pro
that on.
Bowlers, I think, on the front line
Oh,
too.
man.
The guy that everyone needs to be looking out for. He's my ride or die of the 2019-2020 season is Josh Jacobs in Oakland. That kid, they're going to use him in the pass game.
Alabama.
Alabama,
Yeah,
first
yeah.
round draft pick, and you know who loves to run the ball? John
Gruden.
Gruden. He was a
Chucky.
He was a quarterback in high school. They already have a package for him for. I'm assuming it's the option. I mean, they're gonna have him, drop back and do the Odell Beckham. You know what I mean? And maybe one of those. But I'm telling you, Josh Jacobs. If you are drafting in fantasy, if you haven't already done it, get that kid on your team. And also your boy from
Geis?
Yes.
You read my mind. I was going to ask all
Go
of y'all,
ahead, Tico,
what do
tell
y'all
us.
think about Darius Geis? We have not seen him. And now he's pushed
I-
Adrian
Tico, you wanna know what I
Peterson
think?
to
You
the
wanna know what I
back of the
think about
bus.
Well, I mean, again,
I
it's
don't think about Darius.
But here's the thing,
I don't-
Reggie.
Tico,
We haven't seen him.
But
We haven't seen him.
Tico, Reg, here's the thing. Like when we say he pushed Adrian Peterson back, it's just like I mentioned earlier. AP's life expectancy in the game, you're not expecting him to be as productive. So you want them fresh legs. You want them fresh wheels to go. Now let's see what happens in the first 3 games. Give him 3 to 4.
To Geis? For
To
Geis?
Geis.
Yeah.
For Geis.
Okay.
Geis will be an every down back. End of story. And that's why AP, I'm telling you, we were just talking about it. AP wants to leave. He wants to leave. He wants to play more.
Yeah.
And Jay Gruden saying, no, you're not going to play anymore. And then there's this whole battle. It's fascinating before the season.
Were you guys surprised at AP last year? Adrian Peterson?
Yes, of course. I didn't think he had that still.
Yes, I definitely agree.
I was surprised.
Nobody,
I
I
was
agree with
surprised.
Reggie and David. Nobody thought AP was still going to beat AP.
That's
Hold on. He is not AP right now.
I'm
he's
just saying, AP light.
He's
AP light.
He's
Light.
aight.
AP light.
That's what he
AP
is.
light.
He's
No, I
aight.
mean-
All right, y'all, that's the end of our episode. Thanks for listening to Brothers on Football on the Digital Podcast Network, the only podcast where we discuss professional football from a black man's point of view. Thank you again to Reggie Watkins,
Mr. Know-It-All.
Jay Washington, and Tico Well.
Redskins heartbeat.
And this is David Haley signing off for Brothers on Football. You've been listening to Brothers on Football exclusively on the Digital Podcast Network. Start your subscription now at digitalpodcastnetwork.com.